And prompts look just like English, and they are, but you gotta see it as a programming language. Like you have Java, like you have C++, like you have C. Prompts are the programming language, although it's exactly like English, that you use to interface with generative AI. My name is Matheus Guimares. I work for AWS. I'm a senior developer advocate. And yes, I teach a lot about architecture, code, and of course, these days, generative AI. Generative AI is pretty much the next level of how you can do code and API calls and all that in a way that is very efficient, very fast. So if, for example, you want to generate some code to create a function, before maybe you go look up on the net if you weren't too sure, you read about it, you learn about it somewhere else, and then you come back to your code and you start implementing it and testing it. Now you can actually just use, for example, a code assistant to then put a prompt in and then get some output out. The thing is, what's very important, the starting point of everything is prompt engineering. So that is what's very important for especially junior developers to learn, because prompt engineering is what guides the foundation models to do what you want it to do exactly, because foundation models do a lot of things. So the way you tell them is with prompts. And prompts look just like English, and they are, but you gotta see it as a programming language. Like you have Java, like you have C++, like you have C. Prompts are the programming language, although it's exactly like English, that you use to interface with generative AI. So generative AI plugs into pretty much everything that you do today in your developer workflows or your architectures. So take, for example, orchestration. So at the moment, if you have a microservices architecture, you have many different APIs, and in your code, you will go and call them and then assemble the output into something meaningful, and then perhaps even downstream back to the user interface, maybe the website. But now what you can do, for example, is use agentic workflows, so tools or agents, where you tell a foundation model about all these tools, all these APIs that you have, you give it some metadata, so you explain what these APIs do, and now you only need to call one thing. You call the API that talks to the foundation model, and the foundation model can decide for you what it should call, and then generate the right response for your users or for yourself to continue on that path, on that orchestration chain. So it's very important to understand the capabilities of foundation models beyond just sending a prompt, because it can really change and accelerate architecture implementation these days. As a leader in the tech space or in your business or in your company, it's always very important to see how generative AI not just generates things, but how it can stitch everything together, including making sure that it obeys your rules and your policies and your compliances, but also your ethics of your business and your products for yourself and for your customers, right? So it's very important to, for example, look into responsible AI and how you can put guardrails around the foundation models to make sure that it is not just generating output, it's not just generating code even for your developers, but it's generating things that are non-biased, they are secure, they are useful, but yet still within the regulations of your human desire. So it's very important to not let the machine do everything, even if you could, because the human element is really what dictates how good your product is, or how ethical it is, or how conforming it is to the things that you want it to do. I am at Coding Matheus everywhere online. I do a lot of content creation on generative AI, but also architecture and code and other things. Do a lot of conferences, so you can catch me around the circuit in many different countries globally. And if you want to learn more about generative AI on AWS, then we have many resources, hands-on resources for developers. You can go to workshops.aws, so you can actually follow step-by-step instructions to really get used to the technology. We have many videos, so you could go to AWS Developers on Instagram. We do a lot of shorts. I do videos there all the time. AWS Developers YouTube. and community.aws, where it's a lot of blog posts, not just by AWS people, but the community as well.
Hi there. Thank you for staying with us until the end. If you want to learn more about Engineer Explains, click on one of these.